Hello, today I'll be showing you how to encapsulate dry flowers with nude and clear acrylic powder. The first thing you would like to go ahead and do is add glue to your nail tip, and after applying glue to the nail tip, you'd like to go ahead and place it on that fingernail. You're going to hold it down for a few seconds. So once that nail tip is done drying, you can go ahead and move to the next. Now for the second nail tip, you are going to apply some glue, and here you are going to place it at the tip of your natural nail, and you're just going to hold it down for a few seconds. Once it's done drying, you are going to move to the next by applying your glue to the nail tip and placing it on your natural nail bed. Now moving to the last nail tip, you are just going to repeat that step by applying glue, then placing it on your natural nail, and you're going to hold it down for a few seconds. This is how the nail tips are looking after you're done placing it on. So now you can go ahead and move to filing it by using your 100 to 180 nail grip file. So what you're going to use your hand file for is to help blend the nail tip together with your natural nail, and once you're done doing that, you're going to remove the excess shine that's on the nail tip. Then you're going to file the right side and the left side of that nail tip. Here I am just using my tip cutter to help trim that nail tip, and once I'm done, I'm going to file the tip of the nail. And you're going to file the right side and the left side of that nail tip to make sure that it's the same shape, that it's even. Now you can move to the next nail tip by filing the top of the nail tip, making sure that it's blended well together. And now you are going to use your tip cutter to help trim down the nail. Once you're done trimming down all of the nail tips, you are just going to continue by filing the nail tips, filing the right side and the left side, making sure the shapes are even. And this is how the nail tips are supposed to look once you're done shaping and filing them. So now you can go ahead and use your primer. And the primer is going to help let the nails last for a bit longer. And these are the dry flowers that I'll be using to create this nail design. I am excited to create this design using these beautiful flowers. So I'm just going to open it up to show you how they look. This is how the first color looks, and it's a red. Now I am going to continue by putting out all the nail supplies that I'll be using to create today's nail art design. And this is the liquid monomer that I'll be using, and it's from Mia Secrets. And this is also the Cover Pink Acrylic Nude powder that I'll be using, and it's also from Mia Secrets. I am trying to stick to one brand, which is called Mia Secrets. I purchased a new acrylic brush, and I'm excited to start using it because the one that I had using wasn't the best, but I'm excited to see how this one works for me. It came with a cute case. I'm just loving the color, and this is the Kolinsky number 8, I believe, or number 9 brush. Yes, it's really pretty, and I'm excited to try it out. When I am purchasing acrylic brushes, I try to go with those that comes with the case so it can close and open. So this is how the Kolinsky number 8 brush looks. I'm excited, like I said. And here I am just folding some paper tissue, and I'm going to place it near me. This is what I'll be using to clean my acrylic brush. Now I am getting ready to pour some monomer into my dapping dish. I am not going to fill it all the way at the top. Now I am going to open up my Cover Pink Nude Acrylic Powder, and this is my first time I'll be using this nude acrylic powder. I recently opened it up to see if I would be using it that day, but I changed my mind. Now for us to continue this set, I am going to apply some primer to the nail tips, well, to my natural nail. And the primer is used to help keep the nails lasting, as if you want the nails to last a bit longer. Here I am just taking out the dry flowers that I'll be using to create today's nail art design, and I am sticking to maybe 6 dry flowers. So I'm just going to put my acrylic on a side, and I'm going to pick the flowers that I'll be using. If you see my mouth moving, just know that my boyfriend came to see how I'm doing. So here I'm just going to continue picking out the dry flowers. So these are the 6 dry flowers that I'll be using. So here I'm just making sure this is the clay acrylic powder, so I can go ahead and place it on the natural nail. Since this is a new acrylic brush, I'm going to dip it into some monomer to help clean it. So here I'm just going to apply my first bead of acrylic where my natural nail and my nail tip meets, and I am just going to gently brush it down. Now for my second acrylic bead, I'm going to place it a bit higher up where I added my first acrylic bead, and I'm going to gently brush it down. Now for my third acrylic bead, I'm going to place it a bit lower down, and I'm going to gently brush it down, and I'm just going to keep applying acrylic powder to that nail tip, and once it's fully covered, I'm going to move to the next. Now I'm going to place some acrylic powder at the tip of the nail, and I'm going to gently brush it upwards. As you can see, I am not applying too much acrylic powder. So here I'm just going to add some acrylic powder close to the cuticle area, and I'm going to gently brush it down. So as you can see, I am applying smaller beads to the nail tip because when you are just starting off, and I'm somebody that just love working with smaller beads because it makes my application a bit easier and also neater. So here I'm applying my first bead of acrylic to the second nail tip. For the second bead, I am placing it a bit lower down, and I'm gently brushing it down. And for the third acrylic bead, I place it a bit higher up, and I gently brush it down. So now for the fourth bead, I am placing it at the tip of the nail, and I'm just going to continue applying acrylic powder to this nail tip, and once I'm done, I'm going to move to the next one. Now for my thumb, I decided to place it in the pink nude acrylic powder. I followed like doing 3 nail tips the same. So I'm just going to apply my acrylic powder to that nail tip, and once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the dry flowers. Here I am just making sure the nail tip is fully covered with acrylic powder. Now to start adding the dry flowers, I am going to add some clay acrylic powder to that nail tip. I am going to add at least 3 beads of clay acrylic powder to that nail tip so I can go ahead and place the dry flowers. Now I am getting ready to add my first color of dry flower to that nail tip. So I'm just going to open up all the jars, and once I'm done, I'm going to apply my first color. Now I'm getting ready to add my first color, and I decided to pick the yellow, and I'm just going to place it on that nail tip and let it lay down. And in order for it to stay down to the nail tip, I am going to add some liquid monomer to that flower so it can stay down. Now I'm getting ready to add my second color, and it's a red. So I'm just going to continue by adding the flower down on the nail tip, then placing it down with liquid monomer. And once I'm done, I'm going to add my clear acrylic powder to that nail tip, making sure the dry flowers are covered. Now I am going to place the finger to my direction to make sure that I did not miss a spot, that the nail is fully covered with clear acrylic powder. Once that nail tip is done, I am going to move to the pinky, and here I already added the clear acrylic powder, so now I'm adding the dry flower. And like I said, in order for it to stay down, I am going to add some liquid monomer to it. Now I'm getting ready to add my final color, which is the blue, and I'm going to place it with some liquid monomer. Now I can get ready to apply my clear acrylic powder to the pinky, and I'm going to start at the top of my cuticles going all the way down, and I'm going to gently brush it downwards. And in between, I am going to make sure that it is fully covered. So this is how the first hand looks. So now I'm going to show you how the other hand will look. I'm going to show you how I'll place the flower on. So I am getting ready to add my clay acrylic powder to that fingernail tip. If you are someone who struggles with doing your non-dominant hand, can you please let me know so I can show you a tutorial on how to do your non-dominant hand? To me, it takes a lot of practice, and all you have to do is just apply smaller beads of acrylic so that it doesn't make the nail look too bulky and makes the acrylic run down the fingernail tip. So here I'm just adding the dry flower, and once I'm done adding the dry flower, I am going to apply my clear acrylic powder to cover up the flowers. And take a good look at how I am applying the acrylic. I am applying less acrylic powder to my fingernail tip because this is your non-dominant hand. It can be a bit harder, so all you have to do is just take your time in order to work with it well. So here I'm getting to add my acrylic powder to the last fingernail tip, and once I'm done, I'm going to apply the dry flower, and I am deciding to add 3 colors to this fingernail tip. So once I'm done placing it down, I am going to pick up some liquid monomer and acrylic powder, and I'm going to cover it with clay acrylic powder. This is how the design turned out. So this is before me filing and shaping the nails. So here, to start filing and shaping the nails, I'm going to use my 100 to 180 nail grip file. So for you to start filing your nail tip, you are going to file the top of the nail and also the right side and the left side to help shapen that nail tip, to help make sure that it's even. And also to help remove any excess acrylic dust in the corner of your cuticle area, and also file the tip of the nail as well. Now I am getting ready to file my second finger, and I am going to file the top and also around my cuticle area, the tip of the nail, and also the right side and the left side. Once you're done using your hand file, you are going to go in with your nail drill, and I am using my Melody Susie nail drill. And when using your nail drill, you are going to file the tip of the nail as well, and also file the cuticle area, come into the corners of that nail tip to help remove any excess acrylic dust there. Now you can move to the second nail tip by filing in the corners of your cuticle, and also the tip of the nail, and also the top of the nail as well. Once you're done filing the nail tips, you are going to go in with your buffer, and this is to help smooth out the nail from using the hand file and also your nail drill. This is how the nail tips are looking once you're done filing and also buffing the nails, and I also wash my hands so they look a bit neat. Now to finish up designing the nails, I am going to go in with some crystals. What do you think? Do you think that I should add crystals around my thumb and also the rest of the nude acrylic nail tips, or should I leave it plain? This was a bit tricky for me, but since the nails were looking a bit plain to me, I decided to go in with some diamonds around my cuticle area. Now to do the second finger, I added some nail glue from Mia's Secret, and I'm adding my diamonds around my cuticle area. Now to finish up the last nail tip, I'm going to add some glue around my cuticle area, and once I'm done adding the glue, I am going to pick up some crystals to place around the cuticle area. Here I am going to add some top coat to all of the nail tips to help give it the shine that it needs. Now to finish up the nails, I am going to go in with my cuticle oil, and I'm going to place it around my cuticle area. I am in the balcony of my home, and the sun came out, so it looks a bit bright, and also you could see my reflection. So I am just going to rub my cuticle oil into my skin, and this is going to help moisturize my skin. And this is how the nails turned out. I really love to see how the nails turned out. The design turned out so pretty, like the flowers, also the top coat, the nude pink acrylic powder, the crystals around my cuticle area, the cuticle oil, everything make the nails turn out pretty good. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and a comment, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.